Is Lodi the next Napa Valley, or is it all just hype? If you've been hearing people talk about Lodi, California's best kept secret, you're not alone. But before you pack your bags or book a tasting tour, let's talk about what it's really like to live here, and if Lodi is just a wine town or something way more. So let's break down the real estate lifestyle, wineries, and local vibe to help you decide if Lodi is the next Napa or nah. Let's start with what Lodi is becoming known for: wine. You might be surprised to learn that Lodi isn't just wine country adjacent. It's actually one of the largest and most producing wine regions in California, producing more grapes than Napa and Sonoma combined. Yep, that's right, more grapes than Napa and Sonoma. And yet, Lodi still managed to feel like a hidden gem. There are over 80 wineries in Lodi area, and many of them family-owned, award-winning, and deeply rooted in the community. Some of these families have been farming the land for 4 to 5 generations. So when you visit Lodi Winery, you're not just tasting wine, you're stepping into a story. Now, Lodi is especially famous for one variant, Zinfandel. It's the grape that put Lodi on the international map. The region is home to some of the oldest Zinfandel vines in the world, many over 100 years old, and they produce deep, rich, flavorful wines. But it's not just Zinfandel. Lodi's winemakers have become adventurous. They're now producing Cabernets, Chardonnays, and several others. They even have sparkling wines, and they're winning serious awards for them. So whether you're into red, whites, or rosé, Lodi has something for you. Now, let's compare this to Napa Valley. Napa is world famous, and for good reason. The wine is excellent, the scenery is stunning, the food is world class, but so are the prices. A typical wine tasting in Napa will set you back about $50 to $100 per person, not include food pairings or bottles to take home. Many of the tasting rooms require reservations, sometimes weeks in advance, and if you plan on eating at a well-known restaurant, expect long waits, high bills, and packed dining rooms. Napa also has a much more polished, high-end feel. Everything is beautiful, but it's curated. It feels like a luxury experience because that's what it's meant to be. Lodi, on the other hand, is different. It's authentic, relaxed, unfiltered, in the best way. When you go wine tasting in Lodi, you're just as likely to chat with a winemaker as you are the person pouring your glass. You might show up without reservation, grab a seat on a shaded patio, and listen to live music while sipping on a Zinfandel that's won a gold medal. You might pay $10 or $15 for a flight and leave with a bottle you love for $20 or $25, not $85. It's affordable, it's approachable, it's fun. But more than that, Lodi feels like a community. People who live here don't just visit the wineries. They know the owners, attend weekend events, and celebrate seasonal harvest. There are wine festivals, food truck nights, yogas in the vineyard, and even winery weddings. It's not just a tourist destination, it's part of the local cultural. The downtown area of Lodi supports this vibe too. There are local cafes, bakeries, boutiques, shops, and wine bars. You can walk from one tasting room to another, grab lunch, hear live music, and never feel like you're stuck in a tourist trap. So how would I sum this up? If Napa is a luxury resort where everything is polished, planned, and upscale, Lodi is the warm, friendly bed and breakfast that's full of charm, local flavor, and stories waiting to be told. You still get beautiful vineyard views, but you also get less stress, less cost, and way more connection. That's why more and more people are saying, why visit Napa when you can live in Lodi? But if you're someone who loves a glass of wine with character, a town with personality, and a community that welcomes you in, you might feel right at home here. Let's talk about what life in Lodi is really like. Not just the wine, but what it feels like to wake up here, raise a family, build a life here, because at the end of the day, buying a home isn't just about square footage or mortgage payments. It's about choosing the lifestyle that comes with it. Lodi sits in California's San Joaquin County, right in the northern part of Central Valley. It's a town around 70,000 people, and it has the kind of balance that a lot of buyers are searching for. Big enough to have what you need, but still small enough that it doesn't feel overwhelming. And what makes Lodi stand stand out, it's the mix of rural charm, family-friendly neighborhoods, and community pride, with just enough growth and modern amenities to make daily life comfortable. On a typical weekday, you'll see parents walking their kids to school, seniors out gardening, and commuters grabbing coffee before heading off to nearby cities. On the weekends, families head to local parks like Lodi Lake, where you can kayak, paddleboard, or just walk the trails and enjoy the sunshine. There's a true sense of calm here. People wave to each other. They actually make eye contact at the grocery store. It's the kind of place where kids ride their bikes to school, where neighbors look out for one another. And if you spend any time downtown, you'll see business owners who greet customers by name. That doesn't happen everywhere, but it's still happening in Lodi. Downtown Lodi is small, but mighty. You'll find historic buildings, locally owned boutiques, wine bars, coffee shops, and restaurants that offer everything from farm-to-table meals to family-style Italian and classic American diners. There's a beautiful little downtown plaza where the community gathers for Friday night concerts, seasonal events, and holiday parades. And here's the best part, it doesn't feel manufactured. There are no giant chains or high-rise buildings here. Downtown Lodi has character, it feels lived in, it feels like home. If you have kids or are planning to, you'll be happy to know Lodi is one of the more family-focused towns in the Central Valley. Schools in Lodi are part of Lodi's Unified School District, which includes several top-rated elementary schools, solid middle schools, and 2 public high schools. There are also private and charter school options, along with programs for special education, sports, and music, and education isn't just the only thing for families. There are youth sports leagues, summer camps, 4-H programs, and community art classes. The Lodi Public Library hosts kid-friendly activities every week, and the World of Wonders Science Museum downtown is a huge hit with younger kids. For parents who want to raise their kids in a town that feels safe, grounded, and connected, Lodi is a strong contender. Now, let's talk about what you get for your money in Lodi. The median home price is around $600,000. That can get you a 3-bedroom, 2-bathroom home, often with a yard, garage, and sometimes even a pool. If you've been looking at homes in the Bay Area, that same amount might only get you a small condo or a fixer-upper in a crowded neighborhood. In Lodi, you get space, you get peace, you get value. There are newer developments on the outskirts of town and older established neighborhoods closer to downtown. You can find starter homes, family homes, or even multi-generational homes depending on your needs. Whether you want something move-in ready or a place you can fix up over time, there's a wide variety. And if you're a first-time buyer or planning to relocate, I help people all the time figure out what their real options are based on actual monthly payment and loan programs designed for buyers just like you. Lodi's population is a diverse mix of families, working professionals, retirees, and longtime locals. There's a strong architectural heritage here, and you can feel it in the way people respect the land, support local farms, and still make time for harvest festivals and seasonal celebrations. But there's also a growing number of remote workers, Bay Area transplants, and young couples who have chosen Lodi as their landing spot because it offers balance. It's not flashy, but it's not stuck in the past either. It's a town that's evolving, growing in smart ways, while still holding on to its roots. Lodi may not have big city lights, but it has big heart. It's a place where you can breathe a little easier, where you can raise a family, work from home, or even retire without sacrificing comfort, convenience, or community. If you have any questions, give us a call or shoot us a text, whether it's about neighborhoods, rates, programs, or what it's really like to live here. I would love to hear from you. And if you're ready to take that first step, even if it's just to get a sense of what's possible, click the link in the description to schedule a quick, no pressure call. We can talk through your situation, see what you qualify for, and start building a game plan together. You can also call or text directly if that's easier. My contact information is always in the description. At the end of the day, buying a home in Lodi could be one of the best decisions you ever make, not just financially, but for your lifestyle, your peace of mind, and your future. If you're thinking about making the move, I'd be happy to help. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.